Just across the river, yards from U.S. soil, cartel gunmen stroll along the riverbank, armed with rifles. They control the border in Mexico. Some aim AK-47s at Texas DPS helicopters. Others go to war with each other, with Texas DPS thermal drone video showing cartels throwing explosives at each other during a battle for control of the area.
All the activity that's been happening, all the violence that's been taking place right across the river within several hundred yards from where we're at right now.
Texas DPS's Lieutenant Chris Olivares tells Fox, in October, Texas had enough. The state declared Fronton Island Texas property and began bulldozing it. All of it.
Declared
Brush
it?
was cleared. Razor wire was deployed, and the area was fortified. This is what it looks like now. A 171-acre barren landscape now secured by Texas, with Texas troopers on patrol and Texas National Guard soldiers deployed with loaded weapons. This is one of the cartel buildings directly across the river from us in Mexico. You can see cartel graffiti on it as well as bullet holes riddling it. Here on the U.S. side of the river, you can see what Texas has done with Fronton Island. They have completely cleared it out. They've deployed razor wire, and there is now nowhere for these cartel gunmen to hide if they want to cross here illegally.
These cartel operatives have no fear of the federal government because they know there's no consequences, and the fact that they have allowed the Mexican drug cartels to gain operational control of the border. That's why the state of Texas is stepping in so we can regain operational control.
Okay, solutionaries, I got mixed feelings about this. There's something he said there that I think is key. He said Texas claimed Fronton Island for themselves. So if it's actually Texas, I'm 100% on board for this. Just going and claiming an island is not yours, I'm never gonna be cool with that. I'm a libertarian. I'm not down with that type of shit. Don't take nothing that's not yours. That's just that, right? Unless you're open to a war. Now, this comes on the heels of yesterday, some people talking about some of those Mexican cartels have been shooting at the federal agents down there or the Texas border agents or National Guard. That's what cartels do. Now, if that is because you guys just took a fucking island of theirs, then that's different. But from what it looks like, I'm going to say for all intents and purposes, it looked like the island is actually American soil. If that's the case and y'all trying to run unlawful immigrants into America, 1,000% the state of Texas has the right to do that. The irony is the Biden administration actually had sued the state of Texas for trying to defend its borders. Their argument was, oh, immigration is a federal issue, so cut that barbed wire and let them through. And that was bullshit because it's not. Texas has the right to defend, every state has the right to defend its borders when there's an invasion. Obviously, that shit was an invasion. So nonetheless, I think Texas is doing the right thing here. The problem that I want to say that a lot of y'all going to give me some pushback on is the reason why the violence persists is because governments are not allowing people to make choices what they do with their body. What do I mean? If you, as an adult, want to use drugs, fentanyl, heroin, whatever the fuck it is, if you want to be a moron and take those types of drugs, I do not think that the government should have anything to do with it. That's called free market enterprise because the government controls the alcohol trade, the cigarette trade, ATF. They're there. Those things are poison, but you still sell those. So the argument that, oh, we're trying to protect our people from using drugs, that's not what freedom is. The violence that comes out of territorial disputes, the money, the millions, billions of dollars of drugs being sold, that violence comes as a result of you criminalizing a choice. You, listening to this right now, would not start taking fentanyl or heroin if it was lawful tomorrow because you're aware of what this does to the human body and you just wouldn't do it. You're informed. We should be informing people about better choices as opposed to legislation, and damn near overnight, the so-called black market would disappear. An example of this, which I'm very, very hesitant to do. I don't like saying stuff like, well, in this country, right, because we live in America. But nonetheless, Portugal comes to mind. Portugal in, I think, 2001, decriminalized all drugs. We're not going to help you with it. We're not going to help you get off of it. No tax dollars is going towards it. If you want to take it, you can take it. During that time, within 2 years, violent crime in Portugal dropped like 80% because of the drug trade. My point in saying that is, the argument around liberty is where I'm going to give the pushback. Now, the current reality is You guys at the cartel are muling people into America, and that particular island was one of the hot spots where they did that. Okay, cool. Chop the trees down, razor wire it up, get some security there, no problem with that, right? But the argument about where it's coming from outside of human trafficking or trafficking unlawfully into America, that's a different conversation. Another different conversation is the argument about we should be able to move freely from country to country. Whole nother conversation. I think it warrants a deeper conversation than we'll talk about here. However, as far as when we isolating it to you guys were shooting at federal agents or you guys are trafficking humans into America unlawfully, Texas has the right to secure that border. But I don't know, maybe y'all think I'm not really a libertarian because I have mixed perspective on this while still talking about liberty. Maybe y'all think, oh, Maj, you're just living in la la land because you're a libertarian, whatever that is. Even though I said, you point a gun at somebody, they get to point a fucking gun back at you. And if you shoot at me, you're actually practicing crime. And we all for making criminals afraid again. Comment what your perspective is below. Tell me what you think. Did Texas get this right? Is Texas getting it wrong? I don't know who's going to say Texas is getting it wrong under these circumstances, but let's have more of the discussion. I want everybody to go over to solutionaryuniversity.org, sign up for our Solutionary Telegram group, where we have philosophical conversations like this, civics, all of those different things. If you sign up for a Solutionary Premium membership, you get access to the civics class, the Understanding Imminent Threat, firearms basics, meal plans, shooting drills, all of these different things, as well as access to the Solutionary 9 Telegram group. There's thousands of folks across the country philosophically waxing, having discussions, talking about things that'll actually help each other because we're solutionaries. My name is Maj Toure, the founder of Solutionary University. Hope to see you in a class or in the group soon. Be safe, be solutionary.